What's up, guys? I apologize. I ain't been feeling too good. My throat's hurting. Last video we worked on this. I think on this video, I want to get away from the Mustangs for a minute because they get on my nerves. So I picked up a little dirt bike off Marketplace. Y'all probably seen it in the background in the last video. So this is a 2007. It's a 2007 Honda CRF 150rb, which meaning race. It's got the big wheels and tires on it. This is probably the cheapest CRF 150R that you're going to find that I've come across ever. Picked this thing up for $800. I mean, that's unheard of, and of course, probably for good reason. You see, it's all took apart. The tires are pretty much shot. The front fork seals, they don't appear to be leaking, but they could be completely empty too, so I don't know about that. They're iffy. The fork seals might be good. Just looking at the bike, it looks like it's got some decently good stuff on it. It's got the breakaway clutch lever on it. There is no brake lever on it, but maybe it's here. This is a little boogered up. I don't particularly like this. We got a kill switch. It's got handlebar risers on it. Somebody's put on there. Let's see. That looks about. Let's see. It's got a case saver on it. I don't know if that's stock or not. It might be stock, but I don't think it is. But because I've seen a lot of cases get damaged right here in this area. This will be the first CRF 150R that I've worked on. I've never had one of these. I've never even seen one of these before. This is the first one for me. Little man, Wesley, he's 14 and he's gotten into racing motocross, and he acted like he wanted one of these. So I just got online and just on a whim, every once in a while I'll get online and look, and these things are expensive, fellers. And when this thing popped up for $800, I just went and got it. Even though it is a basket case. Literally. I mean, it's a dirt bike in a box. As you can see, the radiators, the radiators have seen better days. Or radiator. Where's the other one at? I don't know. One. Supposed to have two, right? There's one. Seat don't look too bad. Let's see. Seat looks decent. Except it's blue. But somebody has replaced the plastics on it, looks like. So I guess blue would go with white. Set this over here. Where's the other radiator? Oh, it's in the bottom of the box. There's the rest of our frame. Let's see. There's a filter. It don't look too bad. Probably needs oiled. Let's set this up here. Carburetor. It's missing this little cover, but hopefully it's here somewhere. Looks complete. TPS sensor or throttle position. The sensor's gone. I think it's just called a TPS sensor on these bikes, but I don't know. I really don't know what it's called. Like I said, this is the first one I've done. So here's a carburetor. A gas tank. That's important. What is this? It's just plastics. Oh, there's the other brake lever. I'll say there's the cover for the carburetor. It covers the linkage up. There's a. Let's get this stuff out. So I've not even looked at this stuff. I bought this thing and we basically put it in here and push it to the side because I only work on my stuff one day a week. Unless it's like a weekend, I'll cheat and work on it 2 days a week. There's a little bit of stuff in there. Looks like there's little knick-knack things. Bolts, nuts, and screws, brake lever. No broken brake lever. So yeah, this stuff's probably pretty important. Hoses, radiator. That radiator shot too. Well, it probably ain't shot. It probably still work, but I ain't gonna put no bent up radiator or nothing. said, these plastics are brand new. FMF exhaust. There's the rest of it. Somebody's painted it red at one point. It looks like Dookie. We've got a brand new quart of oil. And then parts. Cylinder don't look too bad. I mean, it's got some light scratches that you can't even feel. Still got the cross hatches in it. I may just hit it with a piece of sandpaper just to knock the glaze down, but it does got one little scratch right there, but like I said, you can't feel it, you can just see it. The gasket surfaces look good. Okay, looks like it's missing a dowel pin. Hopefully it's not inside the engine. There's one. Oh, man, I'm going to have to make sure to check for that. That's important. Yep, it's missing one for sure. There's a gasket. Big gasket. We got the head itself. Looks like it was definitely leaking oil through the valve guide seals, the umbrella seals. Still has the gasket on it. It's missing a line-up dowel out of this one too. Yeah, we'll be changing these umbrella seals. They're hard. They're brittle. So I don't think this bike's ever been torn down before. This is probably like its first time. The valves. Let's see. The valves are shot. They're sharp. Yep, they're toast. They're like curved, beveled. You see that? It's got that little dish in it. So valves are no good. You could probably lap them. That one bad too. Yep, that one bad too. The exhaust valves. The exhaust valves look fine. You could definitely lap these and these would be fine. That one looks fine too, but you can tell it was leaking oil through the umbrella seal. That valve would be fine, but probably just end up getting some new valves. Valve springs. 1, 2, 3, 4. We got all of our valve springs. Uh-oh. Where's the retainer? There it is. We got our top part for our valve spring. There's some rings. We definitely won't be reusing the rings. Valve cover looks fine. What's that say on it? Unicam. Let's see what we got. Let's see, there's our keepers. Ooh, there's our shims. Man, you can tell them shims are wore out. Look, they got indentions in them. So I'll definitely have to count on my little keepers. Make sure they're all in there. Looks fine. I said I ain't never built one of these before, so I really don't know what's here and what ain't here. I'm just going to have to do a little research and order some stuff. Well, I bet that gasket right there is important. That O-ring right there. Man. That thing right there starts leaking. Would it not leak all right into the spark plug hole? That's kind of a shitty design. Huh. So that's the camshaft. It looks good. What's that little thing right there for? Hole. Well, have to figure it out. The chain sprocket looks fine. It's not eat up. I think it don't have much wear on it at all. It's got shiny places on it, but it ain't wore. Let's see, what is this thing? Oh, that's definitely an adjuster So this is be a timing chain. This would definitely be like a timing chain adjuster, right? Yep, that's what that is. Okay. Let's see here. Some kind of gasket for something. Seal. What in the world? Oh. Let's see here. That would have to be like a, is that what goes in here? It's gotta be what goes in there, right? What is that? So it looks like this is something that flies. Yeah, so this thing probably opens up when the engine's running, uses like inertia. So when it opens up, yeah, so when that opens up, that flattens out. So what is that, like a compression relief? So like when you're kicking it over, it opens a valve? It's got to be, right? I'm gonna do a little research on that. This thing. It's got oil on it, so it was definitely inside the engine. Maybe that's what. That's gotta be, yeah, that's what holds that on, ain't it? So there's a bolt in there for that, maybe? Let's see, there's a dowel. I was looking for a dowel earlier. There's a dowel. There's a big old dowel. That bolt's got oil on it, don't it? No. Anyway, we'll just have to go through and find our bolts. I think I've got this part figured out. Just messing with it here. I don't like all that play it's got in it. I guess beggars can't be choosers, though, can they? We got a bunch of bolts and nuts. I'm gonna look at this stuff off camera and just inspect it and see what's here and what ain't here, because, like I said, I really don't know what I'm missing, or if I'm missing anything at all. I mean, you can tell this bike hasn't been running a long time. It's got just all kinds of garbage down in the water pump. So I'm definitely going to be replacing the water pump for sure. It will move. I have done that much. I have like kicked it over. Well, I said it would. But there's no up and down on the rod. Of course, you got side to side. Every one of them has that. Timing chain looks good. It ain't wore out, so that's good. That timing chain looks like something off a 302 Ford. So that's kind of the rundown on this bike so far. Does the back brakes work on it? Oh yeah. Back brakes work. Throttle linkage is working. I think the front brakes would work if it had that lever on it. So we'll tear into this thing. I'm going to see what I need. Then I'll start ordering parts for it. Alright, fellas. So fast forward a few days. And we've started getting some parts in. We are still missing, I ordered a water pump kit and 4 new valves. And I went ahead and ordered a, let's see, I'll tell you what I ordered. I'll show you what I ordered. Let me get my chair. So I ended up ordering a new piston kit from Vertex, new radiators from I think it's GPI Racing. Razor blade. Let's get my stuff here. I'll show y'all what all I got here so far. So we got our new piston kit from Vertex, I guess that's what you call it. I checked the cylinder and it was still within spec, so I ended up getting a 65.98 size piston. I then took it out and looked at it. It's super nice. It looked a lot better than the piston that came out of this thing. I ended up finding it. Little man got it out and was playing with it. Imagine that. But hey, we got some stickers. So we got a new piston, new rings. And I have been under the weather. I hate this time of the year. I get the same cough every year. It looks like this Tusk gasket kit comes with just the water pump, the cover gasket, but it doesn't come with any of the actual pump, like your seals. So this is a gasket kit, not a seal kit. Luckily, the only seal that we're going to need is the water pump seals, I think. Because it don't appear, the shifter seal don't appear to be leaking. None of these seals appear to be leaking. So, it looks like some type of firing ring. I guess that's for the exhaust. So we got our jug gasket, we got our head gasket. We got side cover gaskets if we need them. So we got that. Went ahead and ordered a shim kit. Because we want to make sure we get our valve set just right. We don't want no hard starts on the starting line. He's got a 2-stroke that he races, but I don't know. He wanted this. I guess he's gonna try a 4-stroke. I don't think he's gonna like the 4-stroke too good, but we'll see. Me personally, I like a 2-stroke. A heck of a lot easier to rebuild. Okay, so I was going to get Hot Cam's shim kit, but I couldn't find any that was going to be here anywhere close to a time frame that was reasonable. So I got these. Hopefully these will be all right, not just junk. Not biting me in the butt. Made in China, but everything's made in China nowadays. And we got new radiators. So we're waiting on our valves. We're waiting on our water pump kit. And we're actually waiting on the seat cover and some graphics for this thing. And I'm going to put new tires on it. And I'm going to end up replacing these fork seals too. Because they are in fact leaking. The radiators don't look too bad. Pretty nice actually. Polished. The other ones was just crushed. And for the price, you can't beat these. This was like 50 bucks. How can you beat that price? Alright. This thing's gotten dust all over from sitting in here for a couple weeks. So, make sure there ain't no gasket material left on this housing here and this engine case. And there ain't no crap down there. It looks nice and clean down in there. Like I said, I guess I'm like a jack of all trades and a master of nothing. I know just enough to be dangerous about a little bit of everything. That really ain't a good thing, I don't guess. And I've been doing stuff like this since I was a little kid, so I love working on motorcycles. My customers are probably going to watch this video and be like, why ain't you working on my car? Well, my customers that likes to argue and complain about not getting their Mustangs worked on, they're the reasons why I'm not building these custom cars for them no more. Because I have to be able to do stuff like this too, or I go insane. This ain't been feeling too good the last couple of days. I just, I don't know what it is. Almost got it in there. There it goes. And the other side end's gonna be a different story. I got an arrow, of course that faces to the front. Go find some oil or some assembly lube. Awkward working around this clutch cable.
Two hours later.
Well, that was a pain in the ass. Oh man. Exactly what you don't want to happen. Well, that's all that matters. Make sure ain't no little burrs or shavings or anything in there. That was no fun. I don't normally have that much trouble with daggone clips. That's crazy. Anyway, it's over. Now, put this thing. Whoa, let's probably put the rings on. Man, it's already off to a rocky start. Just forward shoulder. are super rings. They just don't matter which way you put them. And this one's got an arrow on it, a dot. Usually any kind of letter or a dot or anything usually goes up. At least barking is something. Alright, we'll go see what the dog's barking at. Put just a little bit of ultra gray there where the case halves are. It's just to ensure that anything gonna leak right there. And we will put our gasket on. Oh, this way. Right, yep. I wish I didn't get this cough every year. Same cough, it's so annoying. Well, that ain't right. It's upside down, Flint. Well, can't be perfect all the time, right? I ain't never perfect. I gotta do everything I do. I gotta do it 2 or 3 times. Okay, it only gets those 2 dowels, I think. Like I said, I don't know, fellers. Oh, well, Fallout. That is the tiniest piston. I mean, it's a big bore size, but man, it has no skirt on it at all, hardly. It'll be hard to do, try to keep that chain up too. Fall down in there, I don't care. Ow. There we go. What is that? Oh. Oh, it ain't going all the way down. Why ain't it going all the way down? Okay, there it goes. Now we need a bolt. Let's get 1 or 2. 1 looks like. Looks promising. Probably ain't it, but we're gonna try it. Alright, so my new valves finally came a day late. And I'm in the process of lapping them in. And the exhaust valves, the exhaust valves actually looked okay, but the seats, if you look, see those little black spots on the seats? Well, zoom out, zoom in, zoom out, zoom in. See them? We need to try to get those black spots out. So what I've been doing is just hooking my drill up and lapping them in. Come on now, go back in there. Spray a little WD on our valve. We don't want to gobble it up in the valve guide. And of course we put us some lapping compound on there. I've done this a lot on like old 3024. It's been locked up, sitting out in the fields, and take old crappy valves and crappy seats and they'll come back around. They might not be 100%, but they come back around. I'm gonna put y'all down for a minute and hook the drill up. You know, I make my living off of these old Mustangs that I build, but my passion is small engines. Any engine really in particular. These old small block Fords, and I love them. Like I've just chucked my drill. I've got my drill on there. Got my valve grinding compound on my seat. All I'm doing is just applying some pressure. And you need to try to keep it parallel with the valve guide. You don't want to be going up or down, anything like that, because you don't want to wear out your guide. Spray me some more lube on my valve. Some more compound in there. I don't believe this engine's ever been rebuilt. So it was definitely time for a re-ring and valves and seals. And we put a piston in it too. We get a new water pump. Let's go the opposite direction. Alright, boys. It took me a minute to get the shims figured out. I said I bought this little shim kit. And it took me a minute. I think it ended up being 180 and 185, and then 215 and 220s. And that ended up giving me 0.15 and 0.25. Let's see, what was it? It was 0.15 on the intake and 0.25 on the exhaust. Anyway, I got it back to this point. Kicks over pretty good. I lined up all the timing marks. Sounds like it would run. It's got suction on the intake side. So, let's see if I can kick it over now. That little clicking sound that you're hearing, that's the compression relief valve. So, it appears to be working. Let's see if I can get it on the... Got just a little bit of clearance. I need to go over and check them just one more time before I put the valve cover on. It might be a little bit noisy, but I'd rather it be just a little bit noisy than too tight and not start. So we're gonna try that first. I got the heater on. I apologize. It's cold outside. It snowed last night. Figured I'd take this carburetor apart and just check it out. Alright guys, I found more problems. I got this thing back together and I had no spark. I could just vaguely feel just a little bit of spark, but it was like inconsistent. So I pulled the cover off to check the stator. Well, I checked the stator with the ohms meter and I wasn't getting nothing. on one side. I was getting something on the actual, on this side, but I wasn't getting nothing on this side. Was just nothing. So when I pulled it apart, I found chunks of solder laying in the bottom down here on top of the screen, and the end of this, which is on your pickup, this was broke and chewed up, and it actually nicked just a little bit right here, which I hope that doesn't affect it none. It nicked it there and nicked it there, so anywhere it could catch it. So that, the air gap between this and the pickup was obviously way off. It's too close. And it broke. It just broke it and messed it up. Broke the side out of it. And of course I just popped the back off because I wanted to see what was in here. There's literally nothing in here except for, of course, this, I took this out. This goes through the hole like this. And then there's just a magnet on the other side. That's all it is. Just a magnet. And then it's got winding. It's got a winding in here that's wrapped around that metal, this metal pole here. And then you got one side here, one side here. As simple as falling off a tree. But evidently that's very important because it won't spark. At least I hope that's the problem. I hope it's not the CDI. I wish I had a way of testing the CDI. I don't know how to test the CDI. I'm sure there's probably a way to do it, but I don't know how to do it. And I'm sure I'm going to have to figure out how to adjust this TPS. I don't understand why there's a TPS on a carbureted bike. It makes no sense to me. Like I said, all this is new to me. I'm learning. It looks like somebody was running straight water in this thing. I'm going to try to get some of this out. But I'm going to pull the screen out and clean it. Put a fresh gasket on here. I have ordered a new stator assembly. We'll get this thing buttoned back up and see if we have spark. I hope it does. Boy, it's foggy out here. What is it, Eddie? I want to play. I forgot all about finishing this video up on this dirt bike. As you can see, I got it back together. For the most part, it's back together. I got a graphic kit I want to put on it. And as you can tell by the mud, my 14-year-old's done been riding this thing. So, I'll get my stand set up and we'll see if it'll start in the cold. It's super cold out here right now, and it's rainy. It might not start. That mud is from a few days ago. It's dry. I don't want to really flake it off the fenders, but it's dry now. So this bike is real finicky. So if this thing actually cranks, it'll be a miracle. I've been doing a lot of reading on these 07 crf 150rs, and the carburetors are real finicky on them. I think I'm going to buy a new carburetor for it. So, choke's over here. I usually give it 3 or 4 pumps. So, 1, 2, 3, 4. Sometimes it'll start with choke, sometimes it don't with choke. And it's cold. Here you is. It's real finicky. Oh. see if it'll run better with the choke on. Nope, it don't want no choke. It's just cold right now. Once it warms up, it runs really good. And that choke flooded it, Ed. She runs, fellers. I ain't gonna ride it because it's muddy outside, but she runs. She's back together. Like I said, the carburetor can still use a little fine tuning, but we know how to operate it now. Before, we was flooding it to death and couldn't get it to start when I first put the motor back together. And then I figured out just how touchy this thing is. So now I just give it a few pumps with the accelerator pump. And usually it'll start faster than that, but it's kind of cold today, so. But it's together, it runs. End the video. Hope you enjoyed it, guys.